to look different. They have to look different to these guests. These guests, basically I think they wanted to differentiate between, to show these upper class members that have sort of nothing to do with the natives but accept them, and so to show that they are upper class, they are all color-coded as it is in movies and unlike reality, and so they all have this white and black evening wear, which is easy because it was actually like that. Evening wear was mostly white and black. And then the actual natives gangs of the Five Ponds, not just Bill Butcher's gang of 6 members, but even those gangs that live in the Five Ponds and always supported the natives, like the Bowery Boys and all, are just wearing the normal clothing that are easily differentiable by the audience. But then it does make a bit of a sense, especially for the Bill the Butcher's gang. I mean, it could have been really like that because being gangsters, they probably also want to show, you know what, we partnership with you, elite of the city. But at the same time, now you come to us, literally to our Five Ponds celebration, to celebrate our victory that we had 16 years back. So I will show you how much of a gangster I am by not giving a damn and not wearing evening wear, which was very important back then. Back then, whole society, from the upper middle class onwards, clerks apart, because clerks will not go out in the evening except on weekends. They will still have a set of evening wear, even these low clerks. But all those above clerks, except if they were like a bachelor, like Sherlock Holmes, who does not give a damn, and he's a bachelor, and he does not go out in the evening, he only eats supper alone with Watson, who cares, he might be in his dressing gown. But otherwise, they would, even when they would not go out, even when they would be in the family, they would usually, even in America less than in Europe, but still they would usually change to evening clothes, also because people spent a good portion of the day on horseback in cities which were very dirty, and so they had taken the habit to change, because even now I was at my mother's place and my old coat had picked up the onion smell that she was cooking. So obviously the very strong, disgusting smell of the cities would be picked up by these wolves and would not let it go away, so they would change. And meanwhile their garments hair out, they wear their evening garments which are only meant to be worn in the evening, and might even change the shirt, as I already explained, to a white shirt. It was a white shirt in the evening, and so by then the gangsters not wearing evening wear for that celebration, they sort of show how much of gangsters there are by not giving a damn. Because by then it was already completely universal, since many years, many decades, since at least 1820, to wear evening wear throughout the Western world, when one was a polite society man for every evening. So now for a celebration that is held with high respectively, obviously it would be normal to wear evening wear even more, but not wearing it. But in a way it could be sort of realistic to some degrees. Alright, but I will judge the people who wear the evening wear, and in truth the evening shirts would not have been like that. That's starched. They would have been like that. They would have looked like that. I've seen it on photographs, like up-close portrait photographs, which show a lot of details. So this is from, again, 1881, but honestly the French pattern shirts already looked a lot like that, or practically the same. But it could also be with the older pattern, because this is the 1860s, and with or without sold-in cuffs. This is meant to take detachable cuffs and collar, hence cuff bands and a collar band. But some would have sold-in cuffs, and some, especially then, would still have a sold-in collar. Basically, the more money one had, the more sold-in things there were. And so again, even when it's highly starched, it does not look that starched. Also there, I may have not done it that well, and so it would look a little bit less wrinkled if it was well made by a London maid. So there, the problem is, again, I think the shirts are not starched enough. There are many characters wearing evening wear. They are all extras, and from a distance it looks very accurate because they managed to really represent. They did not go easy and have it very generic looking, and sort of each of them have the same exact coat, same exact cravat, same exact waistcoat. No, they really made an effort, and they all look quite different. if one pays attention. For example, there I see at 1 minute 35, when the strippers are in cages as it was, there is a man with a very wide bow tie cravat. This was very much the fashion, and then there are some with way more conservative looking, way more smaller bow ties and all cravats. I mean, they're not as much smaller. Some waistcoats are more dark grey, some are more white, some are more cream. So, but again, no gloves. I do not see any gloves ever, which is a great pity. I'm going backwards where it... So some characters may seem to be wearing evening wear, but reality are not. They're simply wearing black coats with normal day wear. And some are actually wearing evening wear. And I will not judge. I mean, there's so many of them. I give an overall overview. I will I think skip and I will skip to the second scene, which has evening wear, which will be much fewer characters. It is what is his name? What is it? It is Boss Tweed celebrating his victory. I mean McGinn, celebrating McGinn's victory as the new sheriff. And once he learns that actually McGinn has just been murdered by Bill the Butcher. So one sees him in evening wear, and there are a lot of mistakes there. Again, not historical mistakes, but just mistakes. So first off, the good points, which are many. He is wearing a top hat, which again must be the same black top hat in Gossamer. The coat looks like an original. Probably is not, but it looks like originals from that exact period, late 50s, early 60s. In that, I do not own originals from that era, but so this is a dress coat. What I call a dress coat, which is very a tailcoat for the evening. It is black and it is piped. So it has cuffs which also are piped with false cuffs which are piped in probably silk satin, black silk satin. The buttons are covered in silk satin, I guess, and all glow grain silk, but that cannot be seen from. It would have to be zoomed in, which it is not. He has this sort of because he's the mayor, I think, of the city or something. So he has this big red necklace finger, which I think must be accurate, but I do not really know about that. This is more for medal rather than a civilian thing. But his waistcoat, to me this is wrong, that the waistcoat it barely looks like an evening waistcoat. At first it seems white, but really it has this sort of check and all tartan pattern. It has sort of ecru squares, light grey squares